Here she goes again. Hide your face, hide your neck, duck your head, wear an NFL football helmet when you are playing in a game versus DiJonai Carrington. Fresh off of clotheslining, a Kane and Undertaker clothesline from hell that she delivered to Sophie Cunningham. This girl is right back on the court, hitting people upside the head.
Hands up, swipe for the ball with our right hand while poking the player in the eye with the left hand.
We're poking eyeballs out again. Is that what we're doing? We're eye gouging again?
DiJonai Carrington recently reached the point in sports where a pattern ceases to seem like poor luck and begins to resemble a habit. When she returned to the court against the Golden State Valkyries 4 days after being sent out for a flagrant 2 foul on Sophie Cunningham, she was involved in 2 different instances where her hands came into contact with opponents' faces. One of them touched Cecilia Zandalasini's eye, and the other struck Tiffany Hayes in the mouth. 2 distinct players, 2 distinct plays within the same game. Additionally, followers didn't wait to inquire as to whether it was an accident this time.
I tried to tell ya, I tried. This girl is not going to stop until she takes somebody out the league. This girl will not stop until she ends somebody's career. DiJonai Carrington, once again, with another dirty foul in less than a week, in just a couple of days apart from each other. A couple of days apart from the Sophie Cunningham hard foul. You have Mrs. Eye Poke, Mrs. Flagrant foul. I'm gonna grab your head, I'm gonna hit your head upside your head, knock you out the air. Mrs. I'm gonna pull your hair. Mrs. I'm gonna whack you on the back of your head. Mrs. Long nailed, sharp knobbed fingertips. DiJonai Carrington strikes again.
Carrington was protecting Zandalasini from the outside during the initial play. While both of Carrington's arms were up, her left hand swooped upward and across, making contact with Zandalasini's eye, while her right hand seemed to be reaching for the ball. Tiffany Hayes attempted a layup later in the same game. Carrington leaped alongside her, bringing her arm down to strike Hayes across the mouth. Both plays did not result in a technical foul or a flagrant foul. However, Carrington's argument with a referee in the third quarter resulted in a technical foul later in the game. Before each of these plays occurred, that increased the suspense surrounding the game.
And then she put both hands up right after. That's DiJonai.
Yeah, I gouged another white girl. Yeah, I gouged another white girl while wearing your Sophie Cunningham wig. I am officially. Hey, this ain't Clerks 2, but I'm taking back Sophie Cunningham's hair. I'm taking it back. You got Sophie Cunningham's hair on while you're poking the white girls in the eyeballs.
Since he isn't a rookie picking up the pace of the league, this is where things get more serious. This 6-year veteran has played for various teams and was involved in a number of high-profile events. One of the most noteworthy instances was when Carrington touched Caitlin Clark's eye during the 2024 postseason. Carrington denied that she would deliberately target someone in the eye, and Clark stated at the time that she did not think it was malicious. Many individuals were led to believe that the incident was unintentional by their remarks. However, the conversation automatically shifts when comparable incidents occur again. While one incident may be an accident, another may nevertheless have a plausible explanation. However, spectators and commentators are more inclined to wonder if there is a pattern when there are several instances of contact near an opponent's face during physical plays.
They go on to defend her, the story, the narrative that she's not a dirty player. She makes plays like this all the time. I put together a little clip of DiJonai Carrington, who is definitely one of the dirtiest players in the WNBA. I don't know if we can roll it, but she's taken her long fingernails. She's scratched Caitlin Clark's eyes out. She's had multiple instances of chasing people down from behind, trying the same swat and smashing them in the head and causing mini fights. She pulled another girl's hair. I don't know if we'll get to that clip in a second when she's falling. Totally dirty play. This is not a skin color thing. She has a history of making dirty plays, and it's fine. The NBA, you can be...
It's important to highlight Carrington's physical prowess since it contributes to the frustration this situation causes for those who truly admire her skill. She has continuously been acknowledged for her defensive prowess and was once a nominee for Most Improved Player. One of the main reasons she is valuable on the court is that she has the length, instincts, and anticipation to guard several positions. There is no denying that she is a true basketball talent. The issue is that questions regarding recurring physical situations involving other players are not resolved by talent alone. Furthermore, a lot of the discussion around her now focuses on her behavior on the court rather than her basketball skills.
I have a photo from the Flagrant 2 on DiJonai Carrington against Sophie Cunningham where she proceeded to go into the locker room and tweet white privilege after being thrown out of the game. I'm not going to comment on that situation, but I will say this. This is a Flagrant 2. Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, don't matter. This is a Flagrant. I mean, she clotheslined her. What more do you want? So, this looks very bad. It just shows that the WNBA is nowhere near where they need to be professionally because, again, this is a clothesline. It's a Flagrant 2.
The Valkyries game did not occur in a vacuum. Thus we must return to the original location of this entire storm. Carrington was involved in one of the most talked about fouls of the WNBA season 4 days prior. While Sophie Cunningham was in the air on a fast break layup, Carrington struck her head and neck with power from behind. Cunningham fell hard to the ground. After reviewing it, the authorities increased it from a Flagrant 1 to a Flagrant 2, citing the play's nature and degree of contact. Carrington was ejected from the game as a result of the decision, which also brought her physical style of play into the spotlight.
Posted white privilege after getting tossed from the game, but says it wasn't about the foul. Can you explain this?
No, I can't. When she tweeted white privilege, she did it so quickly, it was almost as though she had the phone in her pocket after this foul and she got ejected. So, I mean, to say she wasn't referring to this play or getting kicked out and saying that the only reason she got kicked out and got upgraded is because Sophie Cunningham is white is crazy. It was a crazy thing to tweet, maybe crazier than to try to act like it had nothing to do with the play. So I have no idea what she's talking about. I don't think anybody can have any idea what she's talking about. Bizarre.
What transpired immediately afterward made that situation even more messy. It took players on both teams to separate them after Cunningham jumped up and started after Carrington. The officiating crew said that Cunningham's reaction was appropriate considering the seriousness of the initial contact when reporters questioned them about why she wasn't issued a technical for pursuing Carrington. According to the league's official record, Cunningham's reaction to Carrington's foul was appropriate given the severity of the hit. That is not an impartial statement. After watching the footage, a lot of people already had suspicions, which the league essentially confirmed.
5 when it comes to DiJonai Carrington. Here she is on the floor being dirty once again. The girl cannot help herself at this point. She can't help it. Take a look at this. Okay, you swing at the ball, but then you hit her all in the face with your other hand, and then you put your hands up like you didn't do nothing. You hitting her all in the face. Look at this. Watch her left hand. The right hand right here went to the ball. Watch this left hand. Like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? What are you doing? Enough. When is enough with this chick? Come on. Come on. You hitting people in the face. It's over and over and over. How many times do we have to
Now consider this time frame. This player was dismissed in the first quarter for a foul the league deemed harsh, scored 8 points, music, in 4 minutes off the bench, and returned to the court 4 days later, smacking 2 more players in the face that same evening. That doesn't fit the description of someone who was just unlucky enough to get caught. That describes a player whose on-court aggression consistently crosses the same boundary, game after game, opponent after opponent. And that gets us to a tweet that has been making the rounds since the beginning of this whole story because it emphasizes something that statistics by themselves don't fully convey. DiJonai Carrington's basketball career trajectory is not looking good, it states. 15 teams, and Connecticut let you go in the last 2 years. Page, Dallas didn't want you around. You weren't wanted back by Cheryl Reeve. Chicago committed to you for a year, but Steph White didn't want you. Regardless of whether that figure is precise or inflated for dramatic effect, the fundamental idea is what's resonating with people. Examine the real transaction history. Drafted by Connecticut in 2021, she was traded to Dallas in February 2024, moved from Dallas to Minnesota at the next trade deadline, sustained a season-ending injury with Minnesota during the playoffs, and is currently signed to a one-year contract with Chicago. If you include the brief spells, that's 4 organizations in about 2 years, and each transition has involved a club deciding it was time to move on.
You know, DiJonai Carrington damn near decapitated Sophie Cunningham's head. And even though she bloodied Sophie Cunningham's mouth, and even though she got ejected and ran straight to Twitter after being assessed a Flagrant 2, and putting white privilege in caps while tagging the Indiana Fever, we the public, we the fans of the WNBA, we the fans of Sophie Cunningham, and we the fans of good basketball, we're just stupid because we inferred that DiJonai Carrington tweeting white privilege, of course, had something to do with the Flagrant 2 and the ejection. But DiJonai is coming out to set the record straight, baby. She said that we're stupid, we lack critical thinking skills, and in no way, shape, or form would she ever use the word of white privilege.
When a player is frequently transferred, it may be due to fit, a rebuild, or just business. However, it's also not necessarily a coincidence that the most recent team only offered her a one-year contract rather than anything longer, and the trend involves several head coaches effectively refusing to bring her back. It might indicate that while front offices and coaching staff appreciate her athletic contributions, they are not confident enough in the rest of the package to make a long-term commitment. In this competition, a one-year contract can be seen as a trial run rather than a long-term vote of confidence, particularly for a player with her level of expertise. The basketball topic itself was frequently disregarded because of a social media post that transformed the entire affair into a referendum on race and officiating. She has already been involved in 2 additional distinct incidents in a single game less than a week later. This is precisely the kind of instance that challenges whether the league's purportedly zero-tolerance policies about harmful contact genuinely mean anything, or if they are only enforced when the internet compels them to do so.
Y'all, look at y'all favorite player.
Went over to one of the officials. You see Sarah Williams there.
She trying to make it seem like a fan did something crazy to her, right? While I watch.
At the moment.
Look at what y'all looking at. They going to talk to that dude. They've been trying to make him leave, right? She's trying to get somebody kicked out. So he look, he getting up. He end up leaving, right? He end up leaving. So they got to investigate. They got to investigate. Now look at the 4th quarter. Look at who you see back 10 out there. He's sitting right there. That's him right there. And see, these are the type of games that they play when they in the wrong, right? And it's not a coincidence that this stuff is happening because she's been dirty forever. But has she been getting people kicked out like that or attempting to get people kicked out like that? No. Now all of a sudden, now it's time to start kicking people out. Man, it's crazy.
Fans have definitely taken note. It's no longer just that people remark she had a difficult game. They claim that she exhibits a pattern, and in this industry, patterns are given names. Eye poker is not a brand new moniker. It has been following her since the Clark event back in 2024, but now that it's more than just one isolated occurrence from more than a year ago, it's being said with much less tolerance and more condemnation. In the course of a single week, there are 3 distinct players and 3 distinct faces. Carrington's accountability is crucial since, following the Cunningham foul, she wrote about white privilege from the locker room rather than discussing the play itself. Regardless of the motivation behind that post, the real basketball questions were, was that foul hazardous, and does she consistently commit dangerous fouls? For days, they were mired in a different dispute. Additionally, both storylines are merging simultaneously now that the Valkyries game has taken place, and neither one gives her a sense of accountability for what is happening on the floor.
Looked her in the eyes. Bow, went for the ball. I mean, like, where the, like, there's no, you hit the ball on that one, and right here, like, it's like, all right, I missed the ball, now I gotta smack you. I like, Come on, guys. Like, and I know the community is gonna say she went for the ball. She went for the ball. Yeah, I know her head might be shaped like a ball. We all, it's a similarity there. But there's no way DiJonai Carrington continuously gets away with this time after time after time. Like, the compilations, DiJonai, is not good. It's not good. It's not good for you. It's absolutely not good for you. You're poking people in the eye, flagrant fouling people. Like, what are you doing? You swipe for the ball and then you smack her right in the eyes. Like, this is dirty as dirty.
Every time this occurs, more than just Carrington's career is at stake, so it's important to have a fairness discussion. Cecilia Zandalasini must play the remainder of that game as well as the remainder of the season, and the coaching staff may now question whether she need more care if Carrington changes to her. When the ball wasn't even in either player's hands during a live basketball play, Tiffany Hayes made contact with her face. After the foul, Sophie Cunningham appeared shaken and exited the floor. Teammates had to intervene physically to prevent the situation from getting worse. These statistics are not abstract. Because Carrington has a reputation for playing right on the border of the rules, some fans now think she has crossed that line multiple times. These are real players absorbing real contact every night.
DiJonai Carrington break more WNBA rules by being on her phone while being ejected. That is a widely spread rumor that started basically after the game and went into overnight. That she should be suspended because she was on her phone after being ejected, and then somebody shared this rule or a screenshot of WNBA rules. So I went to the rules myself. It's a 91-page document, and I've been searching every keyword and every possibility to try to find this rule that they're saying exists. That players aren't allowed to be on any electronic device or their phones 30 minutes before the game or up to 30 minutes after the game or something.
Then there's the aspect of the narrative that adds a whole other level of complexity. After Carrington was ejected, rumors and videos began circulating claiming she was seen using her phone during the game while still wearing her uniform. Given how stringent the league's current rules are, that would be a serious issue. Recall that the WNBA's collective bargaining agreement expressly forbids players from placing direct or indirect bets on any aspect of a WNBA game. This season, the league has been very cautious about anything related to phones or gambling after having to retract a promotional video that featured players making jokes about betting just a few weeks prior. That is not something that should be dismissed. The league office's inaction on the subject raises additional concerns if the allegations are true, because it is inconsistent for a league to talk harshly about its gambling policy in one breath while remaining silent about a player's phone use in another. Fans have quickly noticed this contradiction.
How many times? How many people are you just going to hit in the face? Let me freeze right there. It's like every single game you are hitting somebody else in the face. Every game you're hitting somebody in the face like this, and that wasn't even the worst. Take a look at this play right here. This girl's a menace in the league. I'm telling you, she's a menace. It's unsafe for people to be out there with her. It's unsafe. Let's go here. Now take a look at this. You got Tiffany Hayes driving to the rim. And watch, here goes DiJonai Carrington right here. Here goes DiJonai Carrington. Watch her. You're nowhere near the ball, dude. You are nowhere near the fucking ball. Like, stop.
And that's the main reason this narrative has developed into something more than just another difficult box score night. This is not an isolated incident that is overlooked after a week. In less than 2 years, Carrington's name has been linked to 3 face area incidents, involving 3 different opponents and 2 different clubs she has played for. Now, a 4th incident has occurred just days after the previous one. The reason given each time it occurs is something along the lines of, "It wasn't intentional." Additionally, the replay presents a little different narrative each time. Eventually, intent is no longer the only important question to ask. At the moment, a pattern is doing a lot of the talking that Carrington herself hasn't been prepared to do. A pattern becomes its own type of evidence. However, a defender who consistently makes headlines for making contact with opponents' faces, rather than for actual stops and deflections, cannot be the focal point of a defensive identity. The narrative isn't Carrington had a great defensive possession each time this occurs, it's Carrington did it again. That's an image issue, and in a league this size, image issues can easily turn into income issues.
At some point, the WNBA front office is going to have to admit this chick is intentionally targeting the face. Here's Mick. I don't even know how you do this intentionally. The ball is behind her, and she went for the ball with her right hand while clawing her in the face with her left hand. Yeah. White girls are only 15% of the WNBA, but seem disproportionately targeted by DiJonai, the condiment made by mixing mayonnaise and Dijon mustard. Fair enough. Another dirty play by DiJonai. I wonder, is this white privilege as well? Does this qualify as white privilege? Ooh. This is more like DiJonai fatigue.
This goes beyond the reputation of a single player, so take a moment to consider it from a commercial perspective. Over the past 2 seasons, the WNBA has benefited greatly from increased visibility, new television agreements, and more sponsorship revenue. The league's positioning as a clean, competitive, and secure investment has been the foundation for much of it. Every time a situation like this goes viral for the wrong reasons, whether it's a risky foul, a locker room post that sparks a national discussion, or a rumor about phone use connected to gambling policy, the longer it remains unresolved, the more Chicago is specifically affected because she is always wearing their jersey. A front office must eventually decide if the on-court output is worth the constant off-court noise. And that decision may be made for them sooner than anyone anticipates if these occurrences continue to accumulate before this one-year agreement is even completed.